Hi guys, so I thought what I would do today is Liam's 3-month update. Now hopefully I remember everything and I don't double up on his 2-month update because it's been a long time since I've done a proper update. So some of the things that Liam's been doing this month is some of the things he's been doing are he's been putting his hands together, like grasping. He's been sucking on his fingers, that's a very recent development. He's been looking a lot more. So according to the Baby Centre website, he has full vision now and he's able to see in colour. That's my assumption. I assume so. So yeah, apparently he has full vision and everything. So he's been watching people, especially me and my husband, just walking back and forth in a room, that sort of thing. He's been very, very clingy. So, you know, you'll put him down and he'll just want attention. He'll just want to sit up. He'll want to try and standing or walking, and he will just want to be held, pretty much. So if you put him down, you know, you either have to stuck a dummy in his mouth or make sure that he's asleep. He also loves his swing. So we got a Bright Start swing and he's been absolutely loving that. He's still breastfeeding, so that's good. I think my supply's ramped up now. Sometimes I can even breastfeed and still express about 80 ml, so that's pretty good. But we're still doing bottle formula top-ups just because it's more convenient and because I'm working, so it's a lot easier that way. And you know, say for example if I had like a 3-hour shift and I want a nap, then my husband can feed Liam because my breast store in the freezer isn't really enough. I've only got like 4 things of breast milk stored in the freezer, and when work ramps up next term I need to be able to feed Liam. So yeah, and work is ramping up. I've been teaching part-time pretty much from about 4 to 6 weeks after he was born, something around there. And I'm taking on a whole new school next term, which is probably 1 or 2 days depending on how many I've got, I'm not sure yet. And I'm teaching every day except Sunday, so that's kind of full on, and I'm just getting more and more students. Since we moved into this area, it's a lot better for students because there's a lot more children and stuff here, so that's good. He's still not that interested in toys yet. Not quite sure why. I think he's just too young for it. He's not really rolling over or able to roll over or anything like that. He can do tummy time for probably 5 to 10 minutes now, depending on his mood and how tired he is and that sort of thing. He doesn't usually like tummy time, so yeah. Sometimes I'm still bathing him in the bathroom sink, but we do have a baby bath now. It's just an annoyance to fill up and empty and that sort of thing. Yeah, but he seems to enjoy bath time, so that's good. He sometimes enjoys baby massage. We haven't been doing the stretching every single day religiously, but when I do he usually enjoys that. But we don't leave the massage oil on just because he does get prone to baby acne and cradle cap. He doesn't really get swaddled at night that much anymore, and we're a bit less vigilant with sterilization of his dummy if he drops it, that sort of thing. Although if he drops it outside, of course we will wash it. But you know, if he just drops it on the couch or on our lap or something, we won't like go and sterilize it. And also we're less vigilant about getting guests and people who come over to hold him to sterilize their own hands and sanitize and that sort of thing. Unless they're really dirty and grimy, we won't really bother with that anymore. So that's a bit different. He's sleeping in a whole various array of places. He can sleep in his swing, his bassinet, he can sleep in the co-sleeper. We haven't really been putting him in the cot lately. I think it's because it's been full of clothes and nappies and I haven't really dealt with it. And by that I obviously mean clothes I haven't folded and new nappies, dirt. This month we've been taking him outside a bit more, so mostly just the backyard and getting him introduced to weather and to grass and yeah, just exploring the outside world and that sort of thing. I've been reading to him a lot more and he seems to be enjoying that, and singing to him, playing with him, doing a lot more physical games and lots of games involving hands and feet and, you know, explaining body parts and that sort of thing. So he seems to like that. He's only pooing probably twice a week, and I think that's because he's majority breastfed. so that's really normal. So one of my family members said that her son was pooping about twice a day. So it really just varies, you know, you can never tell until you have the baby what they're going to do. We haven't really bought a lot of things this month, mainly because he has everything he needs pretty much. So we've just been buying a few things here and there, like I bought some bath toys, I bought the co-sleeper, I think we bought the swing last month, I'm not sure. So it hasn't really been a big month for purchases. What? Oh yeah. So another big milestone this time is that the capsule has come out of the pram, the bassinet capsule. So now he's sitting in the pram upright most of the time, mainly because it was really huge to fit in the car. It was just annoying to set up, and he prefers to sit up anyway, and we figured out how to adjust the straps so that he can be upright. So if you haven't seen the vlog where we did that, you can go in the description below and it'll be there when it'll be there. Yeah, so he's been standing lately. He's been actually surprising us. He hasn't tried to crawl or anything. He hates tummy time, as I said, but yeah, he'll be really happy to try and stand up. He can stand for probably anywhere from 3 to 10 seconds assisted, so that's really good. And he even took a few steps. If you go and watch the Charlie's Diner Baby's First Steps video, you'll see him walking, so that's really, really cute. The description of that video has the time to go if you want to just see him walking, so that's pretty cool. I was really excited. Yeah, so he's about 13 weeks old now, which is exciting. Another thing that's happened this month, which is sort of unrelated but still related, is that I've realised the value of vlogging and keeping records a lot this time. So you know, we're taking way more pictures. We've printed out a whole bunch of pictures, we've sent them off to family and friends, or we're in the process of doing that. Yeah, so we've been purchasing a lot of equipment. So I've got a Rode microphone and dead cat for the camera, and I'm getting a new wide angle vlogging lens on Monday. We've made a new intro, and I'm currently making a song for our vlogs, and we're considering what to do with the extra vlog space. So you'll be seeing a lot more vlogs in future probably. I just have to figure out what to do with the source videos. The pool is now sadly gone, but it isn't really pool weather anymore anyway, so that's okay. It's actually beautiful weather right now. Like, I wish I wasn't teaching every day and I could just sit out here and enjoy it with my baby like most mothers get to do. Another thing this month that me and Liam did was my husband was working for 4 days straight. Well, he came home at night, but you know, most of the day for 4 days straight I was at home by myself looking after Liam, and I actually managed really, really well, so that's good. You know, he's still intact, I didn't drop him, so that's good. Yeah, so I was a lot more confident in that. I also watched a lot of stillbirth vlogs this month, and I gained a bit of self-identity and sort of more respect for my body, and just, you know, being able to appreciate Liam more, so that's good. We had a go at cloth diapering, but then I realised that the newborn nappies are probably not going to last very long, so I thought that I would just use up the newborn nappies and then try cloth diapering again. Basically, I really would rather not clean them myself. I think that since my husband really wants to do cloth diapering, I think he should clean them. Because I do like pretty much everything else anyway. You know, I feed, I go to work, blah, so I figure that he should clean them. So we might try cloth diapering again next month and see how that goes, because he doesn't have any other nappies and he's on his last newborn ones and wipes and stuff. I've also gone back to when it does poo, I've been using toilet paper instead of wipes this month, because we realised we were using about 5 wipes per turn. I went cloud watching with Liam once. That was kind of funny. He didn't end up looking at the clouds though, he ended up just like looking at the brickwork of the house. So yeah, if you want to watch that vlog, I'll link that below as well. Postpartum wise, as I said, my breasts are ramping up to his demand, I guess, which is good. And besides from that, I had my cyst checked and apparently it's gone. So that's good. They said the pregnancy most likely helped to get rid of the cyst. So that means that I'm all clear for now for future pregnancies. I also had my incontinence appointment with the nurse because I was having trouble holding urine in and all that sort of thing. And I've always had chronic constipation. Sorry if that's TMI, but that's my life. So yeah, I had that appointment. She said that my pelvic floor was very, very good. She rated me 3 out of 4, and she said that I could hold my pelvic floor for like 10 seconds. So she said that was kind of unusual and pretty good. So I'm booked in for an ultrasound to check if there was any extra tears and that sort of thing, and for like, I don't know, rectal muscles and all that sort of stuff. But there's an 18-month waiting list, so most likely I'll be pregnant by the time it comes around to me. So they said that when I get pregnant I can just ring up and they'll bump me up the list. So that's all good to know that I'm all clear in that regard. I'm supposed to have a blood test for iron and thyroid and vitamin D just to check if I should be having tablets or not. Basically, when I was supposed to have my thyroid checked to see if I should lower the dose, I was pregnant, so they said to just stay on the dose just in case it changed and it affected the baby. But now that he's out, I'm having 75 milligrams a day, and I just want to know if I should still be having that. So I'm supposed to have a blood test, but I keep putting it off. So I've got to do that. I'm still having the Blackmore's Pregnancy Gold when I can. So I'm not having it religiously every day anymore. Just sort of when I remember. Although I lost the container 2 days ago, so I don't know where it is. And I'm still having vitamin D tablets. I'm having thyroxine. And yeah, another weird thing that happened about 2 weeks ago is I started getting really bad heartburn again. It wasn't quite as bad as in pregnancy, but it was pretty severe now. I'm probably having 2 to 3 quickies a day, and I don't understand why I'm still getting heartburn. It's kind of weird. So there's that. My weight currently is 158 kilograms. I've been pretty stable like that for about a month, maybe a month and a half, so that's good. We're trying to build up an exercise regime. We were doing walks around the block every day, like high intensity, but then my incontinence nurse said to just have like a more casual stroll rather than walk really fast, so we kind of didn't do that. So we haven't really walked that much for the past week. We also moved Liam up from 4-0 to 3-0 this month, so that was something new and exciting that happened. That was pretty much the week before he turned 3 months we did that, so about 12 weeks. Something else I noticed is that Liam is starting to grow hair now, so I can no longer just sort of push his hair down and it stays down. So there's always this little sticky out bit of hair, so he looks a bit like a monkey. I don't know, I just associate that with a monkey, so this week I've been calling him my little monkey. This month we've noticed that he's also kind of upset if he does soil his nappy. So he never used to care, you know, he never used to complain. But now if he has pooed himself, he will just keep crying until you change him. So that's a new personality trait that he's got. He is currently 60 centimeters tall, which is, interestingly enough, from my wrist up to my shoulder. So I basically laid him there and he was as long as my whole arm. So that was kind of cool. And his foot fits in my hand that way at the moment. So that's kind of cool. He's a lot heavier now and he's a lot more chunky. So he's definitely not the skinny baby that he was when we brought him home. You can see in his thigh it's quite chunky, you know, it's like a chicken drumstick. It's kind of funny. So yeah, he's a lot heavier, as I said. Basically one day I just woke up and I'm like, wow, this baby's heavy. I've been trying things like, you know, holding him up in the air, but I haven't got very good arm strength. So I keep just almost dropping him and having to like let it go after a while. So I'm a bit concerned about when he gets bigger and taller and heavier, how I'm going to be able to play with him in that regard and lift him up and all that sort of thing. I've also been forcing myself this month to get on the ground more and be more on his level, because soon he's going to start crawling or walking maybe. And you know, I need to be more on his level, so I've been trying to do that, even though it's really hard for me to get up. The incontinence nurse also checked my stitches, and she said that they did a fabulous job, and as far as she could see there was absolutely no issues there, and that it was healing up incredibly well, so that's good. But yeah, that ultrasound that I told you about is going to check to see if there's any hidden tears and stuff that they can't see. My back's been quite sore lately, on and off, especially in my lower back. I think it's just from being sit down all day and breastfeeding and lifting Liam up, because I'm not used to lifting stuff that heavy that's not on my back, so it's been interesting. So yeah, I've just been trying to massage it and lay down as much as I could. I think it's one of the reasons it's because I was sleeping on 3 pillows, so I've taken 1 pillow away this week and it seems to be a bit better, so I just forced myself to use 2 again. I don't know why I was using 3 for a while, but anyway. His current eating sleeping schedule is roughly, he will have his main sleep about 11 PM, and then he will wake up about 3 or 4 AM for a feed, and then he'll wake up again around somewhere between 5 and 7 AM, which is usually good because by 8 I need to get up to teach if it's a Saturday or whatever anyway. And then during the day he'll just eat whenever he wants. I'll just feed him whenever. And then I'll usually try and get him a feed about 3 PM because I usually teach at 4. And then I'll feed him when I get back from that, which is usually anywhere from 7 to 8, somewhere around there. And then he'll have another main feed at 8. So he'll usually have some formula at the 11 PM feed. And that's usually his feeds. I don't know how many feeds he has per day, you can probably work that out. But it's around every 2 or 3 hours. The most he's slept in one go would be probably 7 hours, but that's rare. He usually sleeps for about 3 to 5 hour periods. But during the day it's far less. So he's definitely getting into a routine. You know, sometimes we're not even aware of what's happening, we don't even formula feed, and he'll try and go down for his main sleep at 11 regardless of what we're doing. So that's good, and he'll wake up religiously like by 7 or 8 AM every day. So he's definitely having a routine now, which is good. He's a lot more fussy when we're trying to feed him. So sometimes he'll just pull off and pull off and pull off and pull on, pull off, pull on, and he'll just fuss and fuss and fuss. So I just take him off until he's hungry again. You know, I'll just be like, nah, you're confiscated from the boob, and I'll try and burp him. And if that doesn't work, then I'll just put him down or play with him until he cries enough that he's hungry again. And then usually after that he'll latch. So I just have to make sure that his arm is under my arm, otherwise he will just keep pushing off. But he'll push off with the other arm anyway, so sometimes I just have to be firm for about a minute until he stops. On that note also, he's been having a lot of issues with gas. So as in when we're feeding him, he won't burp very well, and then he will cry about 10 minutes after the feed, and he'll just be inconsolable. And usually my husband has a good technique of trying to get him to burp. I don't know why, but my technique doesn't work that well. So he'll just sort of put light pressure on the stomach, or just like rub the back really kind of hard, and that usually helps, and he likes that. He gets out of swaddles all the time now, so you know, we're not really swaddling him that much. We only swaddle him if he's absolutely inconsolable, nothing else will work. And when we swaddle him, we have to actually put his arms behind his back, because by the time we're finished swaddling him, his arms will be by his side. So if we were to swaddle him with his arms by his side, by the time we're finished they'll be out the front and already out. So we've got to actually put his arms behind his back while we're swaddling him. So that's something I've learned this week. But a lot of the muslin wraps that we got are too small for him, so we might have to get some bigger ones or cut up some sheets or that sort of thing. We're probably bathing him about every 2 days, I would say. Alright, well, I've given you a ton of information about Liam's 3-month update.
And yourself a whole heap of editing to do.
And myself a whole heap of editing to do. So I'll leave it there. If there's anything else, you can go and read my blog, because I'm sure it's all on there. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative and that you got some use out of it. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye!